Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you like this watch, you can purchase it on thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing the ultimate surf and turf swim and sand watch. It is the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra GMT in full red gold, part of a series that bowed at Bezel World 2013. This is a dual-time 150-meter water-resistant sports watch that can double as your formal attire dress watch. On my 16-centimeter circumference wrist, you can see it is large. It's not Planet Ocean large, though. Though 43 millimeters in diameter, you will find that it has a reasonable 14.3 millimeter thickness. With a nicely sloped conical bezel and stepped case flank, this one will slide easily underneath a dress cuff. It is broad from lug to lug. At 51.3 millimeters, however, it's hardly oversized in that dimension. I would say this watch is a sound choice for wrists as small as 15 centimeters circumference. It is quite hefty, though. The lug spacing of 21 millimeters fits a full gold bracelet that adds considerably to the mass of the watch as well as its aesthetic presence on the wrist. It also provides a welcome counterweight to the mass of the watch head. Whenever you have a heavy watch, you want a massive clasp or bracelet to balance it out so it doesn't want to capsize over the edge of your wrist, to continue our yachting metaphors. Now let's get a little bit closer and we can discuss the details of this bracelet, which is simple but rich. Polished centers, satin flanks, polished shoulders, removable links fixed by screws, and large channels on the underside, because Omega realizes that surf or turf, you don't want to trap moisture, heat, sweat, and grit on the wrist. So nicely vented. Also the big channels between links, avoiding the pinching of skin or pulling of hair. A double deployant clasp, which generally offers better ergonomics for a small wrist than single fold. And you will note twin trigger release, so you must depress both triggers to open this clasp. It cannot simply pop open, and there's no cheap clamshell doing business as your lock. Moving back to the case itself, you can see that Omega nicely integrates the look of the end profile of the bracelet on both sides, but make no mistake, this is a watch that would look at home on a brown alligator leather strap. It has a bit more flexibility inherent in its aesthetic than something like a Planet Ocean. You will note that the case is well known to Omega fans. Sheer sides with a longitudinal satin finish and polished bevels, polished conical bezel, and a little bit of a sheer guard for the crown. You can see that this is the pre-2017 Aqua Terra profile, so you have those sports-inspired sheer guards, a sort of de facto crown guard structure. Moving to the dial, you can see this is also the pre-2017 teak deck profile. Rather than lateral and asymmetric, it runs north-south with all of the individual striations of equal width and weight. You'll also note that there's a little bit of a stepped minutes and seconds track outboard that's slightly below the plane of the teak deck center dial. Rose gold indices, rose gold hands. You will note a few splashes of red in the GMT script, itself applied, as well as the second time zone. Now, two time zones here. One in a 24-hour format. You pull the crown to its intermediate position, and now you can set the local hour, including driving the date backwards and forward across the international date line, giving you the ability to step your local time as you travel, while keeping your home time set in that 24-hour AM/PM format. You also won't affect the chronometric precision of the watch, because you'll note seconds and minutes continue to advance. Now, if you pull the crown all the way, you will hack or stop the seconds, and now you can set precisely, moving everything in sync against a reference time. Now, the movement in this watch is beautiful, but it's also a bit richer than your conventional Omega 8605. 8605 would be the GMT version of the caliber 8500. This one goes a bit above and beyond because it is the 8615. What makes it different? Well, how about a full 18-karat red gold winding mass and a full 18-karat red gold balance? Or I should say balance bridge. Full balance bridge for shock resistance. That is a hallmarked 18-karat solid red gold balance bridge. Also a free sprung index for shock resistance, SI14 silicon hairspring for anti-magnetism, beating away at 25,200 vibrations per hour. It is both a coaxial tri-level escapement, the most reliable and accurate Omega coaxial escapement yet devised, and a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. Flip it over, you can see the twin mainspring barrels in black under their barrel bridge that provide the watch with very even torque from minimum wind to maximum wind for good timekeeping, but also with an exceptional 60-hour power reserve. You'll note spiral Côte de Genève, or Arabesque Côte de Genève as Omega describes them, with black oxidized rather than blued or polished screw heads. A good looking movement in a good looking watch. This is one for all seasons and all occasions. With superb ergonomics, it's also one for most wrists. You can see this fine Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra GMT, arguably a competitor to both the Rolex GMT Master and the Yacht Master in one watch. Make it yours on the watch box. And we're back with the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra GMT. Red gold by day, bright and blue by night. See it on the watch box.